As everybody watching this probably knows, the Queen's funeral was today. All of the world leaders were there, and I watched snippets of it because, again, this is an hours-long event the entire day. Realistically, from the time that the proceedings at Buckingham Palace happened until she was eventually brought to King George VI's chapel in order to be laid to rest, it was all incredibly well done. The pageantry was fully on display, and it was one of the greatest shows of British patriotism that you're likely to ever see in your entire life. And I could give you a play-by-play, and I was fully intending on doing a video specifically about the funeral itself, but realistically, man, there's nothing more newsworthy than to say that, well, the funeral was very historic, and everybody already knew that, and it's far and away the greatest collection of world leaders that we're likely to ever see in our entire life. Nothing else is going to draw this type of attention, and justifiably so. A 70-year-long reign that was largely scandal-free, if we're going to be completely honest. Okay, Prince Andrew had his thing, settled his stuff, okay. Diana and her dalliances and the divorce and all that stuff, but outside of that, really, nobody's going to go for that long of a stretch of time being that well respected by so many people. We're just never ever, I definitely within our lifetime, we're never going to see anything like that again. So I want to take a look at two attendees that were there. First and foremost, this part right here is going to be quick, okay? You had Uncle Joe turn up. He sat 14 rows back. Like, I was watching, like I said, bits and pieces of it, and I couldn't quite see him in the crowd, and I was watching the BBC feed because that's just the most appropriate one to be going. It's the official broadcaster and, you know, the mouthpiece of the crown. So it makes the most sense. And they had something like 440,000 people on their stream. Like, this is a huge event, okay? And it's being well publicized, justifiably so. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. But yeah, there they are in the crowd, I guess. And then standing on the Winston Churchill monument, you had daughter an old bastard, but I don't know if he's just leaning over to one of the cardinals of the Church of England to just say, oh, just book me in for something in about a couple of years time. You got any openings? I'm not wishing that on anybody, but again, the fucking clock is ticking on this old bastard. But yeah, the procession, it was all very professional, and some of the scenes were incredibly sad, and I'm a bit of a softie when it comes to pets, and I seen the shot of the corgis, and it's like, oh, that just kind of sucks. And there was also another one, she had her horse that was standing there, was making the final journey towards the chapel where she's finally going to be laid to rest, and it's like, oh, the horse is just standing on the side, and it's like, oh, that's just kind of sad and everything. And I don't know, it was all really well done. I have nothing really else to add to that, okay? Unfortunately, we're probably going to be doing this, you know, one more time in our lifetime. It's just so remarkable to think that people lived a fairly long, fairly well-filled life and never knew another monarch, and were highly likely, okay, if you're of a certain age, to see 3 in your lifetime. That's going to be wild. Anyways. While all this stuff was going on, Joe Biden had a pre-taped interview. I think it was with 60 Minutes or something, and he made the admission that, the COVID pandemic is over. But then again, he's made a lot of lofty, off-the-cuff remarks about certain things, specifically about the coof, but what does this goofy old bastard have to say? President Joe Biden said in a new interview that the COVID-19 pandemic has ended, stoking criticism from some of his critics over the administration's continued use of emergency policies. Yeah, if it's over, or is there still a state of emergency that you've extended how many different times? Okay, maybe it's finally going to come to an end. Now this is just such an obvious ploy in order for the midterms to come around. Hey, look, we're giving you your freedoms back. And it's like, if anybody's fooled by that, you're functionally retarded, because that should be, it's like, oh, okay, well, who took away our freedoms to begin with? Oh, okay, so why should we vote for you again? Really doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. The pandemic is over, Biden told 60 Minutes while he was shambling through a car show. That's what the clip was. But it's CBS, and they're going to strike down if I play anything, so I'll just go ahead and read it. Anyways, in an interview that aired on September 18th. So yesterday, but he was already in Britain at the time, and obviously pre-taped because it's mass media. Anyways. We still have a problem with COVID. We're still doing a lot to work on it. But the pandemic is over, man. If you notice, no one's wearing masks. And that's a good thing, good thing now. Okay. Nobody seems to be, or everybody seems to be in pretty good shape, except for the President of the United States. Anyways, Biden was speaking at the Detroit Auto Show. Oh, did you go to downtown in order to participate in that? No, it was at Ford Field? Oh, okay. the first time the event was held since the pandemic started. The World Health Organization, part of the United Nations, something that actually should be put to rest, declares pandemics. The agency has not said if the pandemic is over. Oh, I'm sure they'll update the programming here very shortly. Don't worry about it. COVID-19 metrics, though, have plunged across the world. Yep, haven't heard a fucking thing about that in a long goddamn time, in late 2021 and early 2020. Additionally, the new variants of the COVID virus have proven less virulent, yes, than earlier strains. Yeah, it's like, it's almost like it's an evolution of a virus, how it just starts off at its worst point, which, again, if we can run the numbers, we might have a different idea of what we're dealing with here. And then eventually, over a long enough time frame, it just devolves, it gets rid of some of its symptoms associated in order to perpetuate the virus. It's kind of like evolution on a much quicker scale as opposed to other living and breathing creatures. It just wants to continue to replicate and shedding those symptoms off to the side. That allows it to become more transmissible but less effective at really causing any havoc. So yeah, that's what Joe was up to, sitting in the cheap seats and making offhanded remarks. We'll see if the White House will just go ahead and correct the old man. No, COVID's still a threat. And it's like, okay, thanks, wonderful, fantastic. Look forward to the shit kicking in about 6 weeks' time. Now, gotta talk about I'm not going to say it, okay? He's the prime minister of the country that I live in, okay? I didn't vote for him. Nobody within a 1,000-mile radius voted for this fuck. He got all of his constituents. He got everybody that's in the Liberal Party of Canada in a very small, very condensed part of the country, and he thinks that he speaks for everybody. He detests the West. That is anywhere west of Thunder Bay, Ontario. Let's be completely honest. He gives a fuck about Ontario and a small part about Quebec, and that's fucking it. This guy should have nothing to do with Parliament. He is not fucking qualified. He is running on the tainted legacy of his father, Asterix, okay? Paternity test required here. But I think the shine is finally going to come off this turd right here because, yeah, it's pretty impressive what's developed with him over the past 48 hours. Trudeau mocked for singing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody before Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Yeah, he was in a drunken stupor at the Corinthia Hotel in London. He took the entire weekend off. Fuck it. He just thought that it was going to be a nice long weekend. He'd go out, he'd get flued out to London, and then he'd party with some of his closest friends, get fucking hammered, and then just sing over a baby grand piano. He's a real working man. He's a representative of the middle class of Canada now, isn't he? Justin Trudeau was caught on camera singing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody after a dinner 2 days prior to Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral. An animated Trudeau was filmed singing the timeless tune in Corinthia Hotel, London, during the official period of mourning just 2 days before Her Majesty's state funeral. How very on the nose do you have to be? How many similarities between Freddie Mercury and Trudeau do you think that they are? Or that exist, rather? We know the dead guy has far more talent, okay? And I understand, okay? This is supposed to be off hours, you're just around with some friends, but also mind your surroundings and note your position in the world, okay? But no. I'm just waiting also at the same time, okay? The way that mass media in Canada is going to find a way to spin this, if they're even going to address it, okay? Trudeau was seen singing Easy Come, Easy Go, Little High, Little Low, lyrics of the song. Oh, really? Wow, that's even more inflammatory. The clip caused backlash online, however, many criticizing Trudeau's jovial performance during the state visit. That was not intended for mourning. Yeah, we know, you're not going to get drunk and fucking sloppily sing a song. We understand. Once a thespian, always a thespian. One comment, oh, God. Are we going into Twitter comments already? Okay. Well, we got another trend that got magically silenced all of a sudden. Fucking weird how that shit works. If you think that the big tech companies are just simply colluding with the Biden administration, I'm sorry about your brain damage. What imaginary world does this clown live in? Said another pathetic Justin Trudeau is not a serious leader, said Niall Gardner, a former Thatcher aide. Oh, shit. Oh, the Prime Minister's spokesperson released a statement. This will be the only thing that'll be heard from it, okay? Because CTV, CBC, City, Global, all the other fucking bought and paid for journalists ain't gonna press this motherfucker on this one bit, okay? After dinner on Saturday, Prime Minister joined a small gathering of members of a Canadian delegation who have come together to pay tribute for the life and service of Her Majesty. Okay, cool. So it wasn't in service of the Queen's mourning. warning that you were performing that, wait, I'm confused. But whatever, hey man, it looks like the British public were having fucking none of it, okay? Because he got booed. The motherfucker got booed, okay? He's supposed to be there to pay condolences to somebody who has very strong ties to the place that he purports to represent. And he got booed? That's almost impressive. That's why I think that the shine is finally starting to wear off this little... Can't say that word. Trudeau was at the receiving end of groans and boos as he was escorted to his vehicle in London. Trudeau was in London on a visit to attend the state funeral of Her Majesty the Queen. We already know that. Trudeau also was caught on camera during this visit singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. So a spokesperson can go ahead and spin that however they want to, but in actuality... If you have people, like, I want to play this here for a second. Do I got the sound turned on? We'll just go ahead and do that. I don't know how loud this is, so bear with me. Holy shit. That was outside 10 Downing Street in London. That fucking loud? Holy shit. I don't even know what to make of that. That is astounding. I just thought everybody liked to, like point and laugh, okay? Because during the Trump years, okay, wherever Trump would go and he would go visit with heads of state in different places, there would be just these little enclaves of fucking weirdos that would show up. And the world had a certain perception about him because of that. But never really seen anything like this, especially for Trudeau, so... Does that mean that the tide is really changing? Or did that video, okay, that video of him drunkenly, sloppily singing Bohemian Rhapsody really strike a chord? Because that just seems incredibly disrespectful. Again, that's just me, okay? I've got nothing else to go on, but it did resonate on Twitter in some form or fashion. Like I said, now we're going to be getting into some Twitter commentary. Hashtag Trudeau must go goes mega viral on Twitter. Yeah, like by the time that it got censored and kind of fucking yeeted off the platform, because we can check. Yeah, it's still trending #1 right there. I stand with Trudeau, Bohemian Rhapsody. So it was that really got it to the top. But there's no tweet count on that. Huh, weird. But as you can see, even if I just go back to the home screen, not there on the side at all. Stephen Harper's trending, but yeah, Queen Elizabeth, that one would make sense. And then just a whole bunch of other fucking dumb shit as well. And oh yeah, GTA 6 got leaked or some form or fashion. But anyways, what is it really about? Well, it was just kind of a bunch of fucking mid-white women posting about themselves and then just saying Trudeau must go. Because again, if you can play into female solipsism, you'll get anything trending, okay? If you want to make money, market and try to create a product that will go ahead and capitalize on women's fear of missing out, women's FOMO. Or if you want to make things change, activate the women. I don't write the rules, I just report them. The hashtag Trudeau must go has gone viral on Twitter as of Sunday, with over 400,000 tweets calling for the resignation of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Tweets from across the country expressed a wide range of grievances, ranging from vaccine mandates and the associated travel bans. Yes, and now there's a leak, and I recorded the video. It should be out within the week or so, something like that. Depends on if we see any official movement. But according to sources close to the office of the Prime Minister, somebody's contemplating finally dropping these stupid fucking measures, because if even Biden is saying, and that was the motherfucker who ascended to his golden throne at 1600 Pennsylvania, if he was one of the chief benefactors of prolonging this pandemic and now he's saying that it's over, what fucking hope do you have of keeping this shit going? So yeah, those will be dropped soon. Then there'll be a little fucking gap in the border that I might be able to sneak through. That'd be wonderful. Anyways, Trudeau's governing policies, like the Emergencies Act, which he went out there and he enacted. And then the Senate wouldn't pass it. And then he rescinded it. And then there was an investigation into the legitimacy of him evoking the Emergencies Act. And then they found out that, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. What did he get as a punishment for doing that? A 2-drink minimum at the fancy hotel in London. He had to buy a round for the Canadian delegation that was there. But yeah, here's some of the tweets that are out there. I am a 45-year-old registered nurse. How many red flags? Just that little bit of a statement. Who's been taking up space for 20 years in long-term care. Justin Trudeau has already dealt with me and facilitated my abrupt career change, according to Justin Trudeau. Hashtag Justin Trudeau. I have unacceptable views that must be dealt with. Yes, a fringe minority with unacceptable views. That's what the clarion call of Justin Trudeau was during the Freedom Convoy earlier this year. Boy, that seems like a decade ago. At least that's how he first addressed it. Before it was, oh my god, I can't deal with these guys anymore. Just call in the military and fucking leave everybody and clear them out of the fucking streets already because we can't handle the honking. Wrote a nurse who was fired for not complying with Trudeau's COVID mandates. Yeah, of course. And then, yeah, just a bunch of fucking mid-white women. We understand. Oh, and one black guy, 35-year-old Jamaican-born Canadian engineer and project manager. I'm a husband and father of 2 young boys. 5 and 2. Because I made a different medical choice, Justin Trudeau says that I'm an ideologically motivated extremist, racist, and misogynist. Trudeau must go. But this isn't really all that unique. These types of trends go on all the time, but this is definitely the biggest instance of this shit happening. Okay, 400,000, 500,000 tweets over several days, and the fact that Twitter's like, oh no, yeah, it trends at number 1, but yeah, tweet count on that one, I don't really know, man. Here's the thing. He still has the support to the NDP right now. And this is why, okay, some people down in the States, that's where a vast majority of my audience is anyways. If you people saying that you want to have a third party, you want to have another party that's out there, you'll end up with a situation like this, where somebody who can barely manage to get 30% of the vote ends up becoming the leader of the country. Because his extremist policies and the NDP's extremist policies, they just all kind of gestate together for the worst outcome of the country. The 2-party system works for a fucking reason, and it's led to the most successful country on earth for a fucking reason, because your average person is fairly retarded. So if you have 2 choices up there at the top, it's really fucking simple. But yes, this all started with a very wonderful funeral for the Queen, and hopefully for the careers, and a follow-up on that one, for a funeral for 2 careers of 2 terrible politicians, proceeding that, and hopefully without as much pomp and circumstance. Just get rid of these 2 fucks. Anyways, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.